Okay, so guys, namaskar मेरे प्यारे भाइयों बहनों. Today, in the last session, I already covered the global exception, that how we can handle globally, okay, and throughout the applications. So this time I would like to tell you about the local exception, okay. So local exception basically we handle within the controller, okay. So in the application, let's say we have a multiple, like, you know 5 controller or 10 controller, based on the requirement we will be creating. So inside the controller we handle the local exception, okay. So let's say I have a one controller here. I will tell you here, I created the one controller as a REST controller, you can say, demo applications. You that I I could have used another name also, but yeah, this time just for understanding purpose, that okay, this class has been annotated with at the REST controller. So this annotation, you can understand. I could have used at the rate controller also, but at the REST controller is the combination of at the rate controller and at the rate response body. So at the response body means where adding the response into the body, okay, and at that controller, of course, provide the controller facility, which is intercepting the request and mapping those requests into the API. So here I'm talking only for local exception, you can say. So this is my handler, okay. Within this controller I am handling only one local exception, product not found exception, you can say, okay. So if this controller is throwing the product not found exception, so that exception I am handling locally actually, okay. And you can say this is the just map which having the key value pair. So we are configuring this map with error messages, status, and request ID, timestamp, okay. Alright. So this is I wanted to tell you here, and this you can say, of course, I will tell you within this controller where we are throwing this exception, product not found. You can say, can you see, product not found exception I am throwing here. We can check also through the postman. So I have to map first this request, what is my ID, product, and this is my API. So just for understanding, this is my API name, use the git mapping, and we have to pass the ID. So we are checking if 404, say the product not found exception, okay. So you can say I'm handling the product not found exception here, and this is the message, you can say, okay. You can write here that handling locally, you can say, locally. Now let's say product ID I have given the 404, product not found exception, let me see, product not found exception handling. I think this has been not loaded now, the code I changed in the application, now it is being loaded actually. My latest changes will be loaded now because I'm using the dev tool here. So you don't need to restart dev tool true I'm using here. So I don't need to restart this application again if you are making any changes during the development, okay. So you don't need to restart this again. So now I think it got reloaded, restarted, it got this application. Now if you see handling locally product not found. Okay, so basically I wanted to tell you here, yeah, it took time because I made the changes in the code, and those changes was reloading. Okay, and so developer no need to restart this application again and again for making any changes. Okay, so because I made it, you can see, let me show you in the pom.xml file what dependency I added for that. This is, you can say, dev tool true. Yes, Spring Boot dev tool true. So scope is runtime, so whatever changes you made it will compile, you can say, and then it will build and then restart your applications, you can say, and the changes will be reflected, so you don't need to restart. Okay, so here I am handling the local exception, you can say. Thank you.